So it sounds like we may have a deal to avert a government shutdown. It's being reported that Chuck Schumer and Senate Democrats have reached a bipartisan deal to keep the government funded in almost its entirety through September. Now, they were thinking there could have been a government shutdown due to DHS and ICE funding, and that the Democrats were going to hold it hostage, and that they were going to potentially try to hold it up for ACA subsidies again. Now, that wasn't as big of a talking point. They weren't talking about that nearly as much as they were everything with DHS and ICE. And what happened? Well, apparently, Democrats have come to an agreement with Republicans, at least in the Senate, to pass 5 spending bills that funds everything except for DHS and ICE till September. Now, you're going to hear that there was ICE funding passed, and yes, there was. They have agreed to only fund ICE for 2 weeks. It is a Band-Aid, is what they're calling it. That gives them 2 weeks to try to work around, figure out whether or not ICE gets even more money. Because remember, ICE isn't going to be completely out of money. They have the $18 billion that was passed in the one big bullshit bill. But with this now continuing resolution, they will get basically same level funding that they have had for the next 2 weeks. And then they're hoping to reel in and put in more limits on ICE and things and how DHS is operating with ICE, etc. Now, what is unclear is whether or not the House is going to take up this bill. Okay? The House said before that if they didn't pass what they was already passed as it was intended, they weren't going to take up and vote for something else. Now, the House has until midnight tomorrow, Friday, to pass it, or we are dealing with a second government shutdown of this administration. And prior to this administration, the last government shutdown was during Donald Trump's first term, during his first presidency. So, not out of the woods yet, and I think this Band-Aid may actually be a good thing. This gives them a chance to actually focus solely on DHS. And if they don't come to a deal, DHS and ICE just do not get the additional funding, while everything else is now funded. I think Republicans are going to regret making this deal. And even though Democrats may seem to have caved, I think this might actually be a decent move. We'll see how it plays out.